Hello and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel every day leading up to Halloween, and it chooses the film and they discuss it. Today we're talking about 1999's Sleepy Hollow, which was directed by Tim Burton. I'm your co-host Alec.
Oh, I'm Eric. Just kidding, it's Justin. And today we have with us Matt from Hops Geek News. Thanks, man, for joining us.
No problem. What is up, guys? I'm stoked to be here, stoked to talk some horror movies, especially this movie, which is one I hadn't seen in a long time, actually.
Nice.
Dude, for real. I don't think I've seen this in like 15 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was watching this and I was like, oh, wow, I remember nothing from this movie.
Yeah.
I really did not. I mean, I remembered the plot, obviously, but
Right.
everything in between was...
So did you guys remember that Christopher Walken was in it?
No.
I didn't.
I didn't, and it was honestly so refreshing to see him looking crazy.
Dude, he doesn't have one actual word that he says in this movie. It's just, "Rah!" like the whole time.
His teeth, too, like they're like jagged and sharp.
Vampire, like, creature teeth.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but before we start, Matt, you want to introduce yourself and your pod and all that good stuff?
Yeah, man. So I'm Matt. I'm from a podcast called Hops Geek News. Me and my co-host Lauren talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, pop culture in general. We feature a beer of the week. And yeah, we can be found on any podcasting platform. Just searching our name. Find us on any social media platform. Again, just searching Hops Geek News. And that's kind of what we're about. We're doing some Halloween stuff too. So as is everybody else, but we usually pick a topic of the week. It doesn't have to be a movie. It can be anything. And that's the gist.
Whoa, you're doing beer of the week? So are you guys doing like pumpkin beers this month?
We're trying to, yes. So I've had one like a pumpkin blonde stout, which is wicked good. Like, oh man, so good. I love a good pumpkin beer, but when you infuse coffee in pumpkin, it is incredible. And then Lauren's got me a few pumpkin beers from Florida as well. So this time of year is just all pumpkin beers. And then of course I've had Shipyard, which is one of the go-to pumpkin beers that my parents decided to be nice and send me this year since I can't get it out here.
Oh yeah. I remember Shipyard very well.
I'm a slut for it, man. Just an absolute pumpkin slut.
Yeah, Alec, I was telling you, Matt's co-host lives right near Disney, so she's always posting that she's at like Star Wars.
She was literally there today.
I know, dude. I saw her post it, and I was like, God.
Yeah. No, I know. I also live very close to Disney too, just the Disneyland.
No, you're in the fake Disney.
Hey, I was there in August. It's pretty good. Avengers Campus lives up to the hype, in my opinion.
Yeah, Justin, Avengers Campus. Yeah. Maybe you should shut up and come visit me. And then you can see the Avengers Campus.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
You get to watch. You can just sit there at Pym's kitchen and watch Ant-Man walk by. You can watch Captain America fight Taskmaster and stuff. Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, Pym's kitchen, Justin. God.
Well, does Florida have the Avengers Campus too?
No, they don't have the rights.
Yeah, Justin.
It's like a whole legal thing. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. My co-host is, funny enough. She can explain it.
Come on out to California. Come on.
All right.
See, there's not enough water, so we can just drink pumpkin beer. It'll be great.
Exactly.
But yeah, this was a blast from the past. I have seen it more recently than you guys had, but I'm going to make a very bold statement here, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but I think this is Tim Burton's final greatest film. Like, I don't think he's made a film as good as this since this film.
That is a bold statement.
It is.
I don't disagree necessarily. I don't.
I'm trying to think of other ones, and that's the thing. The only one that I was like, maybe is Sweeney Todd, but I mean, I think before this, it was just like home run after, just killing it with like Batman and Edward Scissorhands and Ed Wood and Frankenweenie and Pee-wee. Like, dude, killing it.
I liked Frankenweenie, which came out in 2012, but other than that, I mean, he did Alice in Wonderland, Sweeney Todd, Corpse Bride, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I will correct you on the fact that his final really good movie was probably Big Fish 2003. That
true.
movie still gets me to this day.
Mm-hmm. And that's very original, too. I did forget about that one. Yeah.
He actually did the upcoming Wednesday series for Netflix, so I'm interested to see how that plays out as well.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the ads for that. Yeah, I like Tim Burton, especially early Tim Burton, but like, has he made another? Well, I guess Sweeney Todd would have been another R-rated movie. Oh, no, so was Ed Wood. Never mind. But yeah, this is graphic.
Yeah.
This is a little more graphic than when I expect Tim Burton.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, this came out in 99, and I don't remember how young I was when I saw it, but I was definitely young, and this was considered like a scary movie when I saw it because I was probably like 12, and I remember vividly sitting on the couch and like the headless horseman was riding with the sword in the air, and I was just like, "Ooh, he doesn't have a head. That's scary." Like, and now I'm watching it, I'm like, it's pretty creepy.
Dude, yeah. I mean, same thing as you, Justin. I saw this when I was way too young. I think my dad got it on DVD, and I think the thing that sticks with me still to this day was like when the mom got like closed in that coffin of spikes or whatever, and the blood comes out. Still sticks with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't shy away from the beheadings in this, especially when they shove the stake through old dude's heart in the church and drag him out and then cut his head off. Like that was pretty graphic. And then the color schemes was very Tim Burton, how everything was gray and dull, but the blood against it all was really cool.
Yeah, the blood was super bright. I thought it was pretty cool though, but yeah, dude, this cast, like, I forgot so many famous people were in it.
Yes.
Like basically everybody is super. I forgot Ian McDermott was in it. We got Christopher Lee's in it.
Michael Gough, who is notably Alfred in the very wonderful Batman films. Richard Griffiths, who was Vernon Dursley or whatever it was. Dudley.
Matt, do you recognize Casper Van?
Yes.
You know who that is?
Bro, yes. Rico.
Dude.
Rico Squad.
Yo, you know what's funny is he got the knife thrown in his left leg, and that's the same leg that the arachnids cut over on Clandactu.
Oh my god.
Yes.
It's fucking sick.
Yeah, that is funny.
And then there's Christina Ricci, who looks literally like she hasn't aged a day.
Not at all.
She's very young in this. I think she's like 19.
She was a dime piece.
Yeah, but then Johnny Depp's like 40, and you're like, whoa.
But he looks super young in this, though, too.
He does.
Yeah, he's only a few years older than us, and he's just, it's just like way more famous, you know?
Yeah. This is like right before his Pirates of the Caribbean explosion, too.
This is also pre-poop in the bed. So
I was waiting. Okay, so it only took 7 minutes for you to bring up Amber Heard. Okay.
Dude, people don't forget when you poop in a bed.
People don't forget.
And Justin's always here to remind us. So yeah, Amber Heard was like 11 when this came out.
She's probably watching it and she's like, one day, I'm going to poop in that guy's bed.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
I mean, he really wasn't in anything big prior to this, though. I mean, Johnny Brasco, Edward Scissorhands, Fear and Loathing, The Ninth Gate, but then after this, he was in Chocolat, Blow, From Hell, and then Pirates of the Caribbean. So
yeah, I feel like this is like right, like everybody probably knew Johnny Depp's name, but this is like right before he like went nuclear in Hollywood. I mean, he was also 21 Jump Street. He was also in Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, sorry,
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Yep. So I feel like he was pretty big at this point. This would have been, 15 years into his career. But then Pirates, that's like, the fuse was lit. Oh, and also Secret Window. He stole your story. He stole your story.
Yeah, Johnny Depp does a great, like, creepy act in these movies. Like, he's just really good at being creepy. And I think him matched up with Tim Burton is great. Like, this just felt like such a Tim Burton movie. Everything was dark and like covered with woods, and the town was remote, and it was eerie. It was good.
Have either of you guys been to Sleepy Hollow, the real one?
No,
not a real place.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Oh my god, really, guys? Yeah, it's like an hour north of New York City.
Yeah. See, we don't go to New York. It's a scary place.
We don't talk about New York.
I always thought this was like way up, like Buffalo. I'm like, and then I looked it up on Google Maps.
Correction, I have been to Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, it's right by Tarrytown.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not scary at all.
No.
Yeah.
But actually, so what they wanted to do is they wanted to film this up there, but they were like, it just doesn't look that great. Then they went to Massachusetts. Like, you guys know Sturbridge Village?
Oh, yeah. Been there on many field trips.
Oh, yeah. So they went up there, and they also were like, this isn't right. So then they ended up just building the entire set in England. So yeah, I don't know. It looks great, though. The set's fantastic. This is, like, I think, like, it's not, like, as, I don't know, like, engaging, I guess, as most of Tim Burton stuff. Like, you're not, like, blown away by everything. But I thought, like, it looked so good. It looked so real and scary and stuff like that. But then also, as you were saying, Matt, earlier, just the color scheme, seeing that red carpet that led up to like all these torture devices, that like really stood out because there's not a lot of color in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I guess coming away from it now, Matt, I'm assuming you're in your 30s.
I'll be 32 on Saturday. Well, this is in the past, but yes, I have recently turned 32 in the month of October.
Oh, nice. Well, happy, whatever, belated. Okay, so we're all roughly the same age then. Since you guys haven't seen this movie since you were kids, I mean, how do you think it holds up now? Is it scary? Do you think it's just a good movie? I mean, let's hear your thoughts.
It's not scary. No, I mean, back then, yeah, when I watched it, I think I was about 9 when I actually watched it because I started horror movies from a young age because my parents just didn't care, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's not scary. But to me, it holds up. Being a 1999 film, there was no real effects or graphics that you were like, oh, that takes you out of the moment. I think overall, it's still a really solid movie. Kind of like a whodunit. I had even forgotten like the Headless Horseman. There was something more at play, but I couldn't exactly remember what. So it kind of captured me and brought me back in. And then the fun of the journey and just the kills were kind of really cool and clever. There's a fight sequence with the Headless Horseman, which I thought was still really well done. And it kind of really holds up to this day. And the sequence where Christopher Walken turns back into flesh after getting his skull back, I thought that was actually still pretty well done. So overall, it holds up. It's very entertaining. Scary, no, but a good Halloween film that should be in people's rotations, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I haven't seen it in so long, but like you said, Matt, like I feel like you can casually watch this like every Halloween. Just put it on like you know how Frosty comes on every Christmas, because I mean, it was spooky and so many good actors, and the plot was cool too. Like I didn't remember anything of it, and they could have easily skimped on the story and just been like, oh, like legends of old say once every 100 years he searches for his head, but they actually like did something where the witch was the little girl who saw him die and she like sold her soul to Satan. So I liked how Tim Burton did that.
Yeah. That was really cool how the little girl was like the one who snapped the branch or whatever, and you're like, that's her. Dude, like I completely forgot the mystery. Like at the end, I was like, as I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, like what does happen? I don't remember, and I was very engaged with it this time. And also, yeah, dude, the fighting, like actually, oh, you're gonna love this tidbit, Justin. Guess who was the body of the Headless Horseman?
I do not know.
Same body that was Darth Maul.
Oh no way, Ray Park.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, is the same guy who played Darth Maul, right?
Yeah.
That's
oh, no way. That's awesome. I never knew that.
Dude, isn't that sick though? I mean, like the fighting or whatever, like, you know, when he's fighting Rico from Starship Troopers or whatever, that whole scene with him and Johnny Depp, like they're all the 3-way fight is.
That was a badass fight. Dude, Rico did a good job.
Rico,
like
he really did.
If you could kill the Headless Horseman, Rico probably would have won because he was doing good.
He took it to him. He had this, you know, that he was dual wielding scythes and was just going to town and got some good hits in. To be fair, he held his own. And the fact that you obviously can't kill the Headless Horseman is the only reason why he lost this fight.
Now, let me ask you, if Christina Ricci was watching that fight from a window, do you think she'd still be so into Johnny Depp?
Well, only because Rico gets cut in half.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming the male selection in that small remote town, she doesn't have a lot to pick from. So.
She's thirsting after Johnny Depp because there's literally nobody else. It's a bunch of old dudes with powdered wigs.
I know. I love that too. Like they're the richest ones in town. I'm like, there's like fucking 10 people in town. Like what? Okay.
How rich are they, and how poor is everybody else? Because the entire town fits into that small church.
Right. And they're all like, you know, we're basically all like brothers and sisters up here. And everyone's like, oh, okay. Like, it's kind of weird. We're just going to brush over that.
Dude, I also liked, they kind of had like a Clue-esque to it where when Johnny Depp and the kid were in the notary office and he was like, oh, who did this will go to? It was the Van Gertz or whatever. It's like, and if he died, it went to him. And I was like, wow, he's really detectiving this shit right here.
Okay. Yes, they did some fantastic detective work in this movie. Like, can we point out that there was some legit detectiving going on? And what's his name? Is it Mesbeth? Or however you pronounce the kid who's running around with him? He was a solid ass sidekick. I feel like he gets looked over, but that dude was ride or die until the very end. He was about to throw down with the witch lady
Oh,
and the
yeah.
headless horseman himself. Like, get yourself a friend like that.
Oh yeah.
Mazbath, yeah, he was about to clock her with that sledgehammer. He was
Yeah.
kind of like the what's that? The little kid with Dr. Jones, with Indiana Jones.
Oh, short round.
He was like a short round.
Yeah. The only thing is he did cock block him pretty hard, but he needed to because he's like, hey, I think I found something over here you should look at. He's like, hey, listen, Nesbeth or whatever. Like, I know your dad's not here to teach you these things anymore, but if I'm kissing Christina Ricci, just give me fucking 5 minutes.
Also, the little like redhead kid who got pulled up by the headless horseman from the ground. His dad did a good job too. But when he was kind of like slowly, hobbling over to light the candle thing, I was like, "Oh, this kid's fucked. He's fucked."
That was the scariest part of the whole movie, man.
Dude, when he slammed the axe on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh my
like the kid's sitting there, and he's like, "Okay, I think like he's just gonna kill my parents. It's okay." And
He was like, it's fine.
it's okay. I'm still gonna be okay.
He stuffed him in a sack like Santa Claus.
Oh yeah.
Dude, when the scene just like cut back to him closing the bag, I was like, did he just put that kid in a bag?
Yeah, I mean, he did. Right?
He straight up, he was just like stuff, and then you never saw the kid again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he didn't like cut his head off, but maybe he did. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Never know.
Yeah. The witch scene, though, that was... So what happened then? So, like, there's the two little blonde girls in the beginning who see Christopher Walken, and the evil witch at the end is the girl that survived. But what happened to the old witch? Like, how did she get all fucking weird and live in a cave?
I didn't understand that either.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm this rich, wealthy woman, and now, like, this is my fucked up sister.
Yeah, I think that's her sister, obviously, who lives there. And she was still like practicing witchcraft in the woods, and then for whatever reason she just decided to kill her so that she could be the sole person who collected the fortune.
Yeah.
But I mean, she didn't really need to kill her.
No, but how do we even get there, though? That's what I'm saying.
She was just thirsting for blood at this point, okay? And any witnesses were liabilities.
Right, but like, how did this one who's like, I was educated in like Yale, and this other one's like, I eat bugs in this hole. Like, how did they get? Because they
Every
looked like
family has one, okay?
they looked like they were normal in the beginning, but then like, one of them is a witch, and the other one, well, they're both witches, but one of them's hot and one of them isn't anymore.
Well,
Especially if you're a witch, don't you have the ability to kind of like make yourself attractive? Is that how this works?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Instead, she just stuffed in the base of a tree and left there until she gets killed.
Oh,
What a life!
how horrible is that ending though? Like when Christopher Walken like puts his head back on and then like forces himself on her and basically just bites her face. How does that feel going into that tree? You know?
I mean, it can't feel good. Yeah, dude. Speaking of the tree, I like when he and Mazbath got to the tree and he was axing it, and like the blood was just hitting him in the face, and then you see all the heads are buried there.
Yeah, it was good, and it did, like that looked very real. Like that didn't look at all like prosthetic heads or whatever.
Yeah,
Well, it did look real. Like it had. I think
Oh.
what works with these films and Tim Burton, he's very practical, and so I think that's another real reason that this film holds up is the use of practical effects like that.
You're right. Like this was before he started using green screen for everything. You know?
Yes.
And, like when we hit Charlie and Chocolate Factory, it's just like, all right, he's given up. It's just green screen for everything now. You're right, though. I think that's probably part of the reason why it holds up so well. And the music too. Damn, really spooky. Just. Yeah, it's got longevity also just because of the holiday factor. It's like, okay, this is a good movie to play right around fall and Halloween and stuff like that. But
yeah. If you're a New England person, you're a Halloween fan, or if you like horror movies, I feel like you could watch. I don't know why I haven't seen this in so long.
or if you're Team Johnny. you
Yeah.
know.
Hashtag Team John.
I don't either because I watched it this morning and I was just like, why haven't I seen this more recent? What am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, 'cause I'm a Johnny Depp fan, so like, I don't know. It's been a long time, and all I knew was Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci were in it, and then all these other people. I was like, totally. Oh, that's the dude from Harry Potter. Like, oh, there's fucking Emperor Palpatine. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, I mean it's weird too because like it did pretty well, and like I'm not saying that they should have done this, but if this, I mean they could have. They could have done like the Sleepy Hollow in New York City or whatever, because he's like kind of like a Sherlock Holmes-esque guy. Now he's got his girl, now he's got his sidekick, and now they're back in New York City.
Yeah, dude. So the budget for this was $100 million, and it grossed slightly over 205.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's really good.
They could have made a second one. I guess I don't know what it would have been about, but they could have.
Well, that's the thing. I think they couldn't have made like a sequel to this particularly, but like they've got the characters all set up. Now they're in New York City.
Yeah, they could do like the story of Ichabod Crane. Like, what was the next adventure that he went on?
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to see more like that. That's a good point. I'd be down because he's definitely an interesting character, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Now, have you guys seen the Disney animated version of this?
No.
I have a very long time ago, and I don't remember a single thing from it.
Woo! It's actually pretty creepy too. Like, it's a lot shorter than this, obviously, and it's for kids, but like, I remember being really scared of it when I was a kid. And the difference between this Ichabod and that Ichabod is he's actually from Connecticut in that one.
Oh,
Justin.
See, nothing good comes from Connecticut.
That's true. That's true.
But there's also, he has like a long nose and long fingers. He's not like an attractive guy. And I guess Johnny Depp wanted to do that, but everybody was like, no. Like,
You're Johnny Depp. You're in your prime. You're beautiful.
Exactly. They're like, you're too good looking for us to like.
This face.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it was making me think another funny thing is like the year after Titanic, they put Leo in Man in the Iron Mask, and it's like, how do we like make a lot of money? It's like we get the hottest actor in the world and we cover his face for most of the movie. Kind of made me think of that.
Did the movie explain, maybe I missed it, how when he was having those dreams where his mother was getting crushed by like that spike thing, it showed up on his hands?
He backed up into it.
Yeah, but remember when he woke up in bed and Christina Ricci hugged him?
Oh, no, bleeding?
How did it happen that time?
No, I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. Yeah, no, because they kind of just like threw that in the plot, but then they never really follow up anything with it.
Yeah, I thought something was gonna lead up to that. Like, he also had like some magical powers, but it didn't explain it.
But like, if that happens to you when you're like, I don't know, I'm assuming he was like 7 or 8 or whatever, like, and you get all those like holes in your hands, are they still gonna be there like 30 years later?
Scars, I guess.
I don't know, but I mean, they definitely wouldn't just randomly bleed.
Right? No, of course not. But like, they looked like they were still pretty fresh, even when he was just like, he's like looking at them. He's like, I've had them as long as I can remember. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Those look like really new.
Yeah.
This is interesting to me because I like horror, and maybe you'll find this interesting, Matt. You're gonna not give a shit, Justin. But the guy that originally wrote this and was supposed to direct it, his name is Kevin Yeager. Do you know who he is?
The name sounds familiar.
So he's a huge guy in the special effects and makeup and everything like that. He's actually one of the people that worked on Child's Play. So he
okay.
One of the original Chucky dolls. But actually, you might care now, Justin. He worked on Starship Troopers.
Oh, that would explain Casper Van Dien.
Actually, it really, really might, actually. Yeah. So he married the lead female from Child's Play, from Chucky, when he was working on Chucky. And he also did Nightmare on Elm Street. He did part 2 and 3 and 4, all the makeup. But yeah, he also did Starship Troopers. So
that's awesome. Matt, Starship Troopers is one of my favorite movies.
So. I really need us to like reboot that franchise or do something because I love that movie immensely, and it's not talked about enough by like the general audience at all.
Yeah, we did an episode on it, the first one, and then I don't know if you've seen the others. I think there's 4.
Yeah, they've done a bunch.
And they're just like, it progressively got worse. Like, one of them is like completely animated, and then like they just got so bad.
Yeah, his career is kind of fallen
apart. Hey.
Have you seen Assailant?
Probably.
Nah, it came out in 2022. It came out this year. Remember I was telling you about it? I watched it at work, and I told you about it, and it's about him, like, following a couple on vacation and being like, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, shit.
Dude,
I didn't see that.
It's literally, I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now. The movie doesn't even have a Wikipedia.
Stop it.
Dude. No, I'm serious.
Listen, he's Rico, all right?
I like him. I do like him. I do. But
yeah, so I'm reading the reviews here because I always like to just browse IMDb reviews. And Matt, we mentioned every movie how like people's opinions of movies can be so drastically different. Like, this got a 7.3 on IMDb, and there's a ton of 8 and 10-star reviews. And then you just get to this one 4-star review that says boring. And it was like, I was expecting this movie to be great, but I was so disappointed. It's very overrated. If 50 minutes were taken out, it may have been fine. This is an hour and 45-minute movie, so this dude's saying, if it was a 45-minute movie.
Jeez.
And then you have a 10-star that's one of Burton's and Depp's best. So, Matt, do you have any thought as to how there could be such differing opinions?
You know, that's the one thing that has baffled me with movies, right? Because you see this, especially a lot in movies lately, where it's like, did we watch the same thing? You'll have a bunch of general consensus, like, this is great. And then somebody just comes out of left field where it's, this movie's awful. And they throw out some takes that it's like, what movie did you watch? Because I don't even know where they're getting this. It was boring. There was nothing there. Like, there was a lot that happened. This movie is just steadily nothing but an hour and 40 minutes of people getting their heads cut off. And it starts from the get-go. So I don't know how you're not entertained and kind of sucked in there, but I don't understand it. I really don't. But maybe maybe I'm the problem too, because I feel that way about a certain Star Wars movie that everybody loves. So I don't know.
Speaking of which, I told Alec I was on your podcast for the review of the original trilogies.
Yes.
And somebody had done the prequels already, because I think I asked, I was like, are the prequels free? And then it was between the originals and the sequels, and I was just, I didn't say anything, obviously, because I didn't want to inconvenience you guys, but when you picked the originals, I was like, oh my God, thank God.
I didn't even, oh God. I wouldn't willingly put, there was somebody who willingly wanted to talk about the sequels, and I was like, you know what? Power to you, because I got nothing but negativity here. So maybe this person will bring some positivity to the show.
Yeah, and Alec, you know what else I noticed about this? And I don't know if it's because it came out in the 90s, but I feel like movies back then were, the timing was better. So like this was an hour and 45, and I felt like it was perfect, because if it was an hour 30, they would have shaved off like 15 minutes of crucial story, and if it was 2, it maybe would have been like, all right, get to the point. So this really hit the sweet spot for me.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, I think one in the review that you read, Justin, where it said that it's like one of Tim Burton and Johnny Depp's best. I mean, I agree. I seriously think this is kind of like the peak. This is like when Burton like peaked, and it kind of started. I mean, Big Fish is great too, but it's just, I don't know. It's been a steady decline.
One of Johnny, Tim's, and Casper's best.
And Casper's?
Casper Van Dien.
I mean, for sure him, yeah.
You're right, though, in that nowadays it feels like everybody wants to create some sort of trilogy. And had this been made now, they would have been pumping out 2 more movies already. And they would have made this 2 hours long, which would not have been necessary, because they probably would have filled it with just useless detective work, right? Like, you get a fair amount of detective work in this, but it doesn't feel like it's boring, too over the top, stretched out. It's just enough to hit that sweet spot. And you're like, oh, sweet. I'm leaving this fulfilled. I mean, there was nothing more I wanted from this movie. There was nothing that I was like, okay, they could have cut this out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of detective work, did either of you guys laugh when Johnny Depp was looking at the first beheaded guy and he like pretended he was a horse trotting?
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Ah.
When he like reenacted it, yeah.
Yeah, when he like was pretending to hold the reins, I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
I mean, I think the thing I laughed at the most, just because I'm like, oh, this is so 90s, is like when the house collapsed on top of the horseman and the kid's like, is he dead? And Johnny Depp goes, the problem is he already was. And I was like, this is such a 90s trailer moment, like right there.
All right, so Matt, at the end we always rate it out of 10. So like I said, this got a 7.3 on IMDb. What would you give it?
Honestly, man, I would give it a 7.5. Like, it isn't going to blow you away, but you're going to come out of this movie entertained. It's a fine movie. It's not a bad movie, and it holds up surprisingly well. So I'd give it about the 7.5 range.
Awesome. Okay. Alec?
Yeah, I'm going 7.8 actually. I think
Ooh.
I really honestly I think that it's just like, yeah, it holds up, great special effects, doesn't really have any cheesy moments, all-star cast, love the music. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I was going to say 7.5 at least, because it really has romance, it has some slight horror, I guess you could say, because people are dying. And there's action in it too. There's plenty of sword fighting. So I mean, everyone should see this, and you can definitely have it in your October rotation.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and who doesn't want to see Christopher Walken just going like, ah! Every time you see him, it's just like, it's like, damn, dude.
Also, can we just talk about the velocity that the Headless Horseman must have thrown that fence post for it to rip through that dude's sternum?
Oh, he had a cannon.
He doesn't have any eyes? or a fucking head, and he's able to throw it perfectly, like knowing, Tom Brady, get the fuck out of here.
He's a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, all right?
He fucking Tom Brady that thing right there.
If he didn't lose his head, he was easily going to go win the state championship game.
Dude, like, doesn't even have a head.
And then, dude, they like violently pulled him through that window.
Oh,
The window like blew out.
What's he gonna do? Like, just like, oh fuck, he's stuck. And he's like, ah, and like just like slowly tipping over. And now, but also that guy, there's no way that guy would survive. Like, he's like, he's like, oh, my chest hurts, and then like,
just think about it. It's getting pushed deeper, and when he yanks him out and he hits the ground, it's going like all the way through at that point, and then you're dragging him along. Like, that's some force.
Don't worry, my dear. Just get me some Mucinex. It's like, no. You're dead, dude. But yeah, so it was, I don't know, a fun movie. One of my favorites, honestly. This was so great. And yeah, dude, Matt, thank you very much for jumping on and discussing this with us.
No doubt, dudes. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys having me on, chat a little bit things, and always down for more. So we'll have to have you guys on or vice versa again at some point.
Yeah, I actually meant to ask you. I was like, is Lord interested in joining this? But then I figured she was like, I don't want to watch this stupid movie.
No, I've made her watch so many stupid movies today. Like, I got to... we had press screeners for a VHS 99, and I already know what her thoughts are going to be on that movie, so I put her through a lot, but I just didn't ask because she has a lot of stuff going on. I'm like, I didn't, so next time I will.
That's totally fine. One more time, do you want to plug where people can find your pod?
Sure enough, if you just search Hops Geek News on any social media platform, any podcasting platform, that's where we are. We come out weekly with episodes. And we talk comic books, movies, TV shows, and feature beer. So that is who we are and who we will always be.
I love it.
Awesome.
I love
Alec, are you spinning the wheel now?
Oh, Justin, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. I'm going to spin that wheel. Hell yeah. All right, so we got Eyes Without a Face. This is from the 60s. Yeah, it's a French movie from the 60s that apparently is amazing. So I'm pretty excited.
Oh, it features Pierre Brosseau.
Oh, yeah, you know, that household name, Pierre Brosseau, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
You know, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Brashear Brosseau.
All household names.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you everybody for listening to our discussion today on Sleepy Hollow. If you haven't had a chance, we've released so many goddamn episodes. I don't even know where we're at anymore, but you can find them all on Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. And we will be back tomorrow with Eyes Without a Face.